I was invited at the University of Cambridge for a Postdoc Associate position. And in this video, I would like to share the questions which were asked to me in that Postdoc Associate position interview. But before that, I was asked to prepare a presentation for just 5 minutes. And in this presentation, I had to demonstrate that how my past experience aligns with the current job description and with the current job role. So it was just a 5 minute presentation, and you know how hard it could get to like crunch everything that you did in the last 12 years of neuroscience research into 5 minutes presentation. But I was successful in that, and so yeah, let's start with the questions that they asked me. So the first question was, what is the biggest challenge you ever faced in your PhD? The second was, how do you prioritize your work and many tasks? There was a technical question which was about the domain knowledge. So they asked me, what do you think is the main concern in Parkinson's field? And the next question was, what are the gaps in techniques that you want to fill? What is your aim for the next 5 years? And how will you integrate this postdoc position, which is for 2 years, in that 5-year long-term goal? And then I was told that this particular position is not that much focused on neuroimaging, and it's more on the peripheral blood mononuclear cell culture and also the lipopolysaccharide-induced PBMC culture. And this was in collaboration with another university in the UK. So she wanted to ask me if I was comfortable doing those tasks. So this was all that I was asked. And then I was asked about my current immigration status in UK and whether I would need sponsorship from them or not. And that was it. So the interview lasted for about 30 minutes, and I was asked all these questions along with a 5-minute presentation. There were just 3 people in the interview panel. So it was the main principal investigator and the other senior scientist who wrote that specific grant for that project, and their lab manager. So that was it. And it was a nice experience. This particular interview was at the Department of Clinical Neuroscience in the University of Cambridge. And I enjoyed this interview. I learned a lot through this interview because I had to really crunch my skills, my projects that I conducted in the last 12 years into 5-minute presentations. So this was an amazing task. But having done many interviews here for the postdoc positions, not just here, but in Europe and also in the US, I have realized that the type of interview really differs from laboratory to laboratory, and the expectations also really differ from one PI to the other, and also the requirements of the project. So that's something to keep in mind. But these were the type of questions that I was asked. And one of the most common question is always about, it's like an icebreaker. So it was just about, tell me about yourself and your project. So this is something that you have to be always ready to answer. That's it for this video. If you have any more questions about the postdoc interview process at Cambridge, let me know, because I've had one. And yes, towards the end, I just wanted to tell you that this whole process took over 2 months, because I applied on the 6th of April, 2025. I got the confirmation, I think this was towards the end of April, and I was invited for an interview around 1st or 2nd May, and this was an in-person interview, so I went to Cambridge. And after 10 days of my interview, I was followed up regarding the references from my supervisor and from the other scientist whom I had given the details about. So they directly contacted my referees, and after that I had to chase them a bit regarding the response, and somehow I had the gut feeling that it didn't work out for me, and This was, I still remember when I was returning from Zurich. This was on the, I think around June 30th, when I got a reject from them, and then I requested for a feedback. So this is something that you could do, is that if you've reached up until the last stage of your interview process and you get a reject from them, it's always nice to ask them what you were lacking, and in their opinion. I have never worked with Parkinson's patients, which is true. So I think that was something that they needed in a applicant, and yeah, so I got a reject from them. But it's just that I feel that it's good to go through the process, because in the process we learn a lot, and I don't see it as a waste of time. And for someone who's applying and still searching for jobs, it's okay to look for them until you find the one where you honestly feel that you're fitting in, and then also that the people who are hiring you are confident in hiring you. So, yes, good luck with all the applications, and thank you for tuning in. See you soon.